In the world of herbalism, understanding the concept of tissue states is absolutely essential. These states provide insight into what is actually happening within the body, far beyond just labeling a condition by name. When we talk about true individualized healing, tissue states become the compass that guides every decision an herbalist makes. They help us determine not only which remedy to use, but how to use it, and why it will work for that person at that specific time. Tissue states are a way of observing the quality of the tissues in the body. Instead of focusing only on disease names, herbalists examine how the tissues are functioning. Are they inflamed and irritated? Are they cold and stagnant? Are they dry and brittle, or soggy and congested? These are the kinds of questions that tissue state theory helps us answer. As always, this video is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any illness, ailment, or disease. Traditional Western herbalism, especially the schools influenced by Greek humoral theory and the 19th century physiomedicalists, identifies 6 primary tissue states. These include heat, cold, dryness, dampness, tension, and relaxation. Each one describes a different imbalance in the body's tissues, and these imbalances can occur in combination with one another. Someone may be both dry and tense or damp and relaxed. Recognizing these combinations allows the herbalist to get to the root of what is really going on. The importance of identifying the correct tissue state cannot be overstated. Let's take the example of someone who has a cough. Without understanding the tissue state, you might simply choose a general remedy that helps with coughs. But when you look deeper, you may discover that one person has a dry, hacking cough that worsens at night, while another person has a wet, rattling cough that produces thick mucus. These two presentations are completely different in terms of what the body needs. One requires moistening and relaxing herbs, while the other calls for drying and stimulating ones. Using the wrong herbs could easily make the problem worse. That is the power of tissue state theory. It teaches us to treat the person, not just the problem. When a person is in a state of heat, their tissues may be inflamed, irritated, or overactive. There might be redness, fever, burning sensations, or restlessness. In these situations, cooling and soothing herbs are often the best choice. These may include plants like chamomile or marshmallow root that help calm the heat and restore balance. Cold tissue states are the opposite. Here, the tissues are slow, sluggish, or underactive. Circulation might be poor, digestion might be weak, and the person may feel chronically fatigued. In this state, warming and stimulating herbs like ginger or cinnamon can help get things moving again. Dryness as a tissue state is often marked by dehydration, brittleness, and lack of moisture in the body. Someone experiencing dryness might have cracked skin, a dry cough, or dryness in the eyes, throat, or digestive tract. Herbs that are moistening and mucilaginous are perfect for this kind of imbalance. Plants like licorice and plantain can help bring lubrication back to the tissues. On the other end of the spectrum is dampness. Damp tissue states are boggy, congested, and heavy. There may be excessive mucus, swelling, water retention, or sluggish lymphatic flow. This is a common pattern in chronic illness or digestive stagnation. In these cases, drying and bitter herbs are often called for. Nettle, yarrow, or dandelion root can help dry out excess dampness and restore function. Tension refers to tightness or constriction in the tissues. This may show up as muscle spasms, headaches, anxiety, or cramping. These patterns benefit from relaxing herbs that calm the nervous system and reduce spasms. Skullcap and cramp bark are classic examples of herbs that can soothe tension in the body. Relaxation, as a tissue state, may sound desirable, but it refers to a loss of tone or structure in the tissues. Think of conditions where things are sagging, leaky, or overly loose. This might appear as chronic fatigue, prolapsed organs, or excessive sweating. In these cases, we need herbs that tone and tighten. Astringent and adaptogenic herbs like rose or raspberry leaf are excellent allies in restoring strength and resilience. Understanding how each of these tissue states expresses itself gives us the ability to match herbs accurately and safely. It's not enough to know that a plant helps with a particular condition. We must also understand what energetic quality that plant brings to the body. Every plant carries its own energetic fingerprint. Some are hot and dry, Others are cool and moist. Some stimulate, while others sedate. This is where the true artistry of herbalism begins to shine. If a person is in a hot state, using hot herbs like cayenne could worsen the issue. But cooling herbs like violet or plantain may help bring calm and ease. On the other hand, if someone is stuck in a cold, sluggish pattern, warming and activating herbs like cinnamon or elecampane may help bring energy back into the system. Matching a plant's energetics with the tissue state of the person allows for incredibly precise and effective treatment. It means you're not just addressing the name of the illness, as today's physicians do. You're working with the deeper pattern of imbalance. Let's look at a few real-world examples. Two people may come in with the same diagnosis, eczema, but one person has dry, itchy, flaky patches, while the other has wet, oozing, inflamed lesions. The first person needs cooling and moistening herbs to soothe dryness and irritation. The second person needs herbs that are drying, toning, and slightly cooling to help reduce inflammation and fluid buildup. Or consider two people with anxiety. One is tense, tight, and agitated. The other is spacey, scattered, and chronically exhausted. One needs relaxing herbs to reduce tension, while the other needs tonics to rebuild energy and structure. By focusing on tissue states, we are able to choose the right herb for the right person, even if they have the same condition. That's the power of energetics in practice. Energetics is the language of herbalism. It is how we understand the interaction between a person's state and the energy of a plant. Without this understanding, herbal medicine risks becoming reductionist, just another version of pills for symptoms. But with it, we step into a deeper, more intuitive way of practicing medicine. We see the body as a whole and treat the root, not just the result. Tissue state theory helps us avoid one-size-fits-all solutions. It helps us notice when the same condition is showing up differently in different people. It prevents us from applying remedies that might make things worse. And most importantly, it empowers us to become excellent observers and thoughtful healers. In a world that rushes to suppress symptoms, tissue state theory teaches us to listen. It teaches us to ask, what is the body really saying? What is this imbalance trying to express? And what remedy will meet the body where it is and guide it back to health? This is the essence of herbalism at its best. Personalized, rooted in observation, guided by intuition, and always in partnership with nature.